Hello, I'm gonna have a rant. What am I gonna rant about? Fucking stupid people. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna read you a conversation I had in PMs on Facebook yesterday. And I kind of explain what was going through my head as it went along. I won't name the guy, though in all honesty I probably ought to report him to the police. But anyway, starts off, he sent me a friend request about 3 or 4 days ago, and I looked at it and I thought, I don't know this guy, but I accept pretty much all friend requests because I assume they're viewers on YouTube, and you can't always put the name, the real name, to the screen name. So I hit accept, and I hear nothing for a couple of days. And then I get a message. The first line is a URL. And he follows it with, "Hi, can you help me find my mate? Forgot his name. Think he's friends with you. He's into all the old school gaming like me. Cheers." Straight away I am. This sets alarm bells ringing with me because it starts with a URL. And I'm thinking, this is going to be a virus. I ain't clicking it, I'm just ignoring it. I didn't delete it. Actually, I'm not sure if you can delete. Can you delete PMs? Whatever. I just didn't respond. So a couple of hours later, I get another PM from him saying, know him? So I think, okay, this isn't a bot. This is a person. Hold on, I've got a dog barking. Right, where was I? He sends another message a couple of hours later and says, know him? At which point I think this is not a bot. So I look at the picture, and it's no one that I know, but I'm still thinking this is odd. This is your friend, but you can't remember what his name is, and you think a complete stranger, someone out of the blue, is going to know who he is, just because I'm into retro games, and supposedly he is. Something very odd. And I responded with, doesn't look familiar, and left it at that. He came back with a screen name that I won't repeat. We'll call it Fat George. Sorry to anyone who's fat and called George. We'll say this screen name was Fat George. It wasn't, but we'll just use that as a pseudonym. Fat George, you may know him by. Let me know his name. What? How? And I said, I don't know that name. To which he returned with, okay, well that's a lie, and posted a URL. And this threw me completely, because the URL was from a Twitter feed, and it was the Twitter feed of someone who I know on YouTube and on Twitter, and who I quite respect. I think they're a sound person. They might have a slightly jarring manner on occasion, but I thought they're sound, which made me think that this was the person I know sending the PMs, and that it was his Twitter feed they had taken a screen capture of. At which point I'm thinking, what the fuck? He's calling me a liar. You know, I've said I don't know this person. In the Twitter feed is a conversation where the person in question, Fat George, comments on a video I've made, and I respond to him. So this guy PMing me now assumes I know the person, and I came back with, okay, I encounter thousands of people on here. You think I remember every single person I converse with? You want to call me a liar? Fine, fuck off. Thinking it's someone who I know, who is just being utterly disrespectful. And he comes back with, aight, no worries. I fucking hate that, aight. It's alright, you twat. No worries, just thought you did. No problem, chill, thanks. Fucking hate ghetto speak. Pisses me off massively. And I came back with, no, you call me a liar, then you tell me to chill. You don't get to do that and think everything's cool. So he came back with apologies. Didn't mean it to sound like it did. Which I responded to with, and how is okay, well that's a lie, ever going to sound anything other than a fucking insult? I was raging. Because, as I said, I thought this was someone I knew, who I respected, and they're behaving like this. And he ended with, yeah, bad choice of words. Then, several hours later, he comes back again, posts my real name, my real address, my real phone number, assorted emails and other things, and then puts, am I right? Tell me who Fat George is. This is obviously a threat. Now, at this point I called Andrea up to have a look and see what she thought of it. And the thing that was throwing me was the fact that this user who I know, their name was in that URL. But Andrea did a search for the person this guy was looking for. And the first thing to come up was the Twitter feed that this guy had posted. The Twitter feed of the person who I know. And it happened to be the conversation that I had had with this Fat George on Twitter. And it appeared in the feed of the person I know. So it was not the person who I know, who I thought it was, who was PMing me. It's some complete stranger. No idea, well, I say no idea who he is. I'll get to that in a bit. But he's now basically posting in private, so far, all of my personal details. I know how he found them. It's actually not difficult if you know what you're doing. So I wasn't freaked or panicked. But anyway, what I said to him was, okay, two things. One, I don't know who Fat George is. Two, if you're threatening me or threatening to expose personal details, both things are a criminal offence and I will call the police. Now back the fuck off. At which point I reported him to Facebook for threatening behaviour, because this was obviously threatening behaviour. He's not actually saying I'm going to do stuff, but it's implied. It's, I know where you live. So blocked, reported, and if anything weird happens, well, if you should suddenly hear in the news that a house burned down and Steve Benway's dead or whatever, all the evidence you need is in my Facebook PM feed, and the police, I'm sure, could get into that. The really, here's the thing, because I'm just raving about fucking stupid people right now. The really fucking stupid thing about all of this is he did it with his real name. You can find this guy really easily. He doesn't live a million miles away from me. What a fucking moron. It boggles my brain. He assumes I know this person. Obviously this person has done something to piss him off. It's not his friend. You don't forget your friend's name. And you don't threaten someone to try and get a complete stranger to try and get that name. This is someone who doesn't understand how Twitter works, doesn't know who I am, doesn't know that I speak to thousands, tens of thousands of people on a very regular basis, you know, responding to PMs and tweets and comments and stuff. So he's seen this. I'm replying to something this guy said and he thinks, yeah, this guy knows him. What a fucking dick. But there you are. He's used his real name to imply a threat so that if anything were to happen, well, he's basically implicated himself. Yeah, so I'm having one of those days. I'm just really zero tolerance for stupid people, and stupid people are stupid. I was having a conversation on Twitter about this with Samurai Rabbit, and he was like, how do these people, what did he say? What is it that triggers these people? And my response was two things, probably. Really dumb people are more likely to breed. What I should say, actually, there is really dumb people are more likely to breed with really dumb people, resulting in even dumber children. And then bad parenting. And let's be honest, really dumb people are more likely to be bad parents. who just don't give a shit and no boundaries for their children, and their children grow up knowing nothing about right and wrong and what they can get away with, and that there are consequences. They just don't care, so they do whatever the hell they like and run rampage and are basically fucking idiots. Yeah. The solution would be a breach of human rights. So, and that would be an IQ test. Have to pass an IQ test to be allowed to breed. But that would just be positively Nazi and not acceptable. But that, you know. Okay, I think I've got it all off my chest now. Can you... fucking... Oh. I get wound up a bit sometimes. I'll shut up now. Thank you for watching.